Overclockers UK sent me the Cougar Revenger gaming mouse and the mouse Bungee, the bunker mouse Bungee, which is actually pretty awesome. Now the mouse itself is fairly basic in what it comes with, just a few stickers and a manual, and the mouse has a Cougar RGB logo on the back as well as a sort of underglow line, which obviously it's RGB, so it's 2016. It also has RGB DPI indicators and two other buttons on the left hand side, and on the left and the right you do get this nice sort of grippy textured surface, and on the top you get obviously the left and right mouse clicks, a nice textured scroll wheel, and a kind of trigger like DPI button, which is awesome, and three large contact pads, as well as the PMW 3360 sensor, which is optical. It's 12,000 DPI and it's pretty awesome. Now this one is definitely a palm grip mouse. If you like claw grips, then this might not be necessarily for you, but overall it felt very good in my hand. Now talking a little bit about the Bunker Bungee, it's actually a very strong mouse kind of suction cup type thing that holds the mouse cord in place. To set it up, all you do is place it down, lift, and then push it down a little bit, and then drop the sort of plunger or drop the lever down. And then to attach the cable, you literally just press it into the top and in the back. Now personally, I'd recommend a little bit more cable than what I personally use in this sort of demonstration. Having a little bit more available to you is always nice, but it just kind of gives you an idea of how the sort of bungee works, and means that the mouse cord doesn't get dragged around or anything like that. It means for a reliable type sort of experience, which is awesome. Now this is what I mean by this is a very strong suction cup. It literally ripped the paint off my table. Admittedly the table wasn't that great, but it just goes to show how strong it is. Now the mouse itself, obviously being RGB, does look quite nice, and obviously you can change those in the settings, and to change the DPI is actually a very satisfying sort of trigger pull almost at the top, which is a very sort of pleasurable experience. Now to use the mouse in gaming, I was actually really impressed with it. It was very smooth, obviously a very nice sensor included in the mouse, so I am very impressed with that. And while I don't necessarily use anything upwards of maybe 3000 DPI or 4000 if I'm on 4K like I am here, it's still really not much of a kind of, I don't go up that high. So if you are a professional gamer in any sense, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one if you've tried it out at all. But for me, it's a very nice, very accurate mouse that I definitely do like it. Now, in terms of the software experience, it's fairly decent enough. Obviously, all the settings that you could expect are there. There is only 3 DPI settings, which is a bit of a bummer, but there are lots of other things, including lift-off control, lots of other macros, and other functions that you can add to the mouse, and obviously lighting control if you want to do that RGB action. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So I've got to say, I am pleasantly surprised by the mouse. It was a very nice build quality. The overall feel of it is great, especially in the hand. And if you're someone who likes palm grip mouses, then you'll absolutely love this one. The feel on the sides as well is great for when you need to pick it up and move it around. It's not glossy plastic anywhere, which means it's not going to slide out of your hand randomly. So that's awesome. The overall experience with it was actually really good. The one thing that I would mention though is that the software, while it is reasonably well laid out, reasonably easy to use and all that sort of stuff, the one thing that I would note is that it has a lot of features which is fantastic, but the mouse doesn't have the buttons to support those features. For example, it has a sniper button DPI type setting, which is great, but there isn't a sniper button on the mouse. Now of course you can change the forward and back buttons, or basically the 2 side buttons, to be one of those features, but then you have the issue of if you just want to use it as a normal mouse for productivity for general use, but then have to switch modes to have a sniper button and whatever else you want, maybe a melee button or something, then that means that you have to open the software, change the mode, close it, and then go back to your game, which for me, if you just had an extra button or 2 on there, it'd be fantastic to be able to change modes on the fly, have stuff like a sniper button, and be able to use melee and grenade and whatever else. So for me, that would be really nice to see. Otherwise, I'm really impressed with it. Just a few notes on the Bunker mouse Bungee. That's also, as you've seen, it's incredibly strong. You definitely don't need to worry about that moving anywhere. So yeah, I literally spent half an hour removing the paint chips from the bottom of it to get it to be decent again. So that was fun. But the other thing to mention is that the actual arm that holds the cable is designed for slightly thinner wires, like the one on the Cougar Revenger mouse. So if you have a slightly thicker wire, like for me, example, the Logitech G700S actually has a bit of a thicker wire to it. So I had a little bit of trouble trying to push it in. If you do have a slightly thicker wire, it's probably not going to be a massive problem. It just needs a bit more force to get it in, but other than that, yeah, that's kind of it. It's a really good Bungee, and the mouse is actually really awesome. So in terms of scoring, I think I'm going to have to go for a 4.5 value for money. In terms of performance, I'm going to go with a 5, but a 4 for functionality, because I really would like to see an extra button or two on here, just to make it a little bit of a better all-rounder mouse for the features that they include in the software and all that sort of stuff. In terms of styling, I actually do like it though, so I'm going to go with a 5, and TechteamGB score of a 4.5 with a gold award, with a kind of upgrade to top tier. If they could add an extra button or two, that would be pretty awesome. So yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I really enjoy having a conversation with you over these products and that sort of thing, so I'd really love to hear from you. What type of mouse are you using at the moment? Is it for FPS or MMO gaming, or just a general mouse, or whatever you could find? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'd love to have a chat with you about that, because it's a lot of fun just chatting to you guys about the different things, about the mouse, about the features, about the software, all that sort of stuff. So I'd like to hear from you in the comments down below. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and chat with us there as well. Again, it's very nice to chat with you guys on a literally daily basis, and obviously it's nice to see those numbers go up. If you want to buy this, I'll leave a link to Overclockers, who the guys who sent me this one, and if you're buying anything else, please do use the Amazon affiliate link in the description down below. It's literally a mutually beneficial thing, because it costs you nothing, it helps me out and keeps these videos coming to you every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So yeah, I guess that's kind of that really. As I said, feel free to subscribe and like and all that sort of stuff if you did enjoy it and found it useful. Feel free to check out some of the other videos. I'll leave some playlists over here, and I'll leave the subscribe button as usual over there. And yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.